there we have week 3 of Joe Millionaire. And the first thing I want to say is, wow, what a different feel from Joe Millionaire compared to The Bachelor. We're on week 3 and we've got like this feeling with Kurt's storyline that it's like coming to a close. And like we should be like just getting into the season, and we have Carolyn, who I'm starting to hate more with each passing episode, who's just being completely 100% possessive of Kurt, and getting to the point where like they've talked for like an hour and she's basically expecting him to get down on one knee and never talk to anyone else ever again. It is so bizarre. And this is coming on the heels of her telling Kurt, hey, Kurt, I want you to explore your other options so that when you pick me, you know I'm the one. And, Carolyn is coming across as the kind of person who says something to you, and then when you do it, she's pissed off at you because it was a test. And like that is, let's be honest, that is not partner material. That is not a quality you want in someone, like even a friend, like let alone someone that you're gonna marry. Just terrible. So she tells Kurt like, hey, go explore your options. And then it kind of like, we never saw this, but got the impression that she's basically going around the house and telling everyone that her and Kurt is a done deal. When like they spent a little bit of time together, that's it. So now the women are feeling like they can't get to know Kurt, and Kurt is feeling like he's cheating on her if he gets to know other women. And like I was saying at the start, like the different vibe between this and The Bachelor, like The Bachelor, nobody gives a crap that The Bachelor's making out with 10, 15 different women. And here on Joe Millionaire, we have Kurt just showing interest in 2 women, and it's a huge issue. And like poor Steven, like he's been shuffled way to the background of this entire show because this was all about Kurt. Like, what did we see from Steven tonight? He had a conversation briefly on the boat with Kala, and and I like to say, like, that's a connection that I thought would be pretty obvious right at the start, that instead just never happened. And then they just really got their first chance to talk this week. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. Sorry, I got a cat who's trying to just destroy the camera as I record, and may accomplish that task by the time we finish this video. And then he also had one conversation with Annie, and we really didn't even get to see that much from it, just beyond like that's someone he's now interested in. And like that's really all we saw from him tonight. Everything else was Kurt and Carolyn, Kurt and Amanda, Kurt and like just the dilemma he's been forced into, and it's so weird. And just to go back to Kurt and Carolyn, like when they were at the movie premiere and they had that moment where they went off to talk by themselves, and basically Kurt said like, hey, I don't know if I'm comfortable with the whole situation with you, your kid, and your ex. Don't think I'm really equipped to deal with the ex in the level that would be necessary. And she just immediately went on the defensive. And I did not like that. Like, of course, she's going to always defend her child, but that's not what this scenario was. And, just immediately gave me a bad vibe. And then we go and see Kurt go and sit down with Amanda, and there's like an immediate connection there. They're laughing, they're talking, they're making out. But then you flip back to this supposed connection between Kurt and Carolyn, and like there's no substance there at all whatsoever. There is just physical attraction. The conversation that we saw, I think it was week 1 or week 2, I don't even remember, between Carolyn and Steven was way deeper than anything we saw between Kurt and Carolyn. So I don't understand why like she's sucking up so much of the show. While we're just thinking about that movie premiere, how about Rachel? She goes out on 2 nights out, gets drunk both times, has a meltdown both times. The second meltdown leads to her just getting up and leaving. You know, I don't think that she would have been there at the end. She had a little bit of a connection with Steven, but ultimately, I think the booze would have just got in the way, because anytime alcohol came out, seemed like it was an issue for Rachel. So she's gone. She went home. We won't have to experience that anymore. The other person who got eliminated tonight, that's the word I was searching for, was Sarah Rose. And you know, I've just not liked her right from the start. Like immediately, I just don't like even just her look, like that look with the very fake lips. It's just like, I shouldn't say this, but like I immediately don't trust somebody who has that. I just don't. Like I see that and I'm like, yeah, this person is not here for the right reasons. Let's move on. And you know, then we get to those shots of her talking about how she wanted to sleep with Winston, who's like just a guy working in the background. I will say kudos to Joe Millionaire for bringing that up, because like another difference between this and The Bachelor, if this is The Bachelor, they let that fester, they let that get out of control, they let that play out as long as possible. Joe Millionaire, she has a couple conversations, they bring it to the Joe Millionaires, and the Joe Millionaires give her the boot, and they were way too polite to her. Like way too, like, did you see how smug Sarah Rose was looking? Like she knew exactly what she was doing. She's totally malicious in her actions. She didn't give one crap about either of these guys. And the only thing that she was after was her 15 minutes of fame and chasing that clout. So good riddance to her. Very glad to see her gone. And maybe we can actually start to see a little bit of Steven moving forward. One thing I was thinking tonight before we end this video was I'm really excited. Like they briefly touched on the potential that Kurt's also a millionaire. He just doesn't have $10 million. He just has a different number of millions of dollars. And I would love it if that was the case, just to see Steven's reaction when they announced it. I like that relationship between Kurt and Steven is one of the best aspects of the show so far. I was wondering if it was going to get a little tense and heated between the two, you know, basically dating from the same pool of women, but they've both seemed like they've handled it very well. We haven't had too many women like really trying to get in with both of them, especially with Kurt already just apparently narrowed down to Amanda and Carolyn, and Steven basically having 1 5-minute conversation with each woman in the house. So that is going to be it for me this week. Really enjoying this show so far, and I'm excited to see how this is all going to play out. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we get to get a little bit more Steven time moving forward. So that's it for me tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we will see you later.